Good morning, everybody. Thank you for attending today. We're here today for a brief update on Project Gaslight, the police investigation into the ongoing arson, shooting, and extortion series involving home builders in Edmonton. To date, the EPS is investigating 34 occurrences since October 23 that are believed to be linked to the criminal network committing these series of crimes. There has not been another arson linked to the file since our last update in January. The amount of property damage as a result of the arsons and shootings is estimated to be at least $10 million. Thankfully, no injuries have been reported as a result of the shootings, although there have been a number of close calls. The April 8 shooting of Buddha Singh Gill was a tragic loss to our community, and our hearts go out to his family and friends, as well as the family and friends of the surviving victim, and those of the male who is believed to have committed the crime and then taken his own life. This homicide is not believed to be connected to the Project Gaslight series. We continue to believe the series is being committed by a group of local individuals being directed by a suspect outside of Canada. While there are similar occurrences in BC and Ontario, there is no evidence to date to suggest they are related to the Edmonton incidents. To date, police have arrested and charged 6 young males in connections with these arsons and firearms offenses. So today, after months of investigating and combing through surveillance video from residences, gas stations, and convenience stores, we are releasing several suspect videos to the public. In some of the videos, we are looking for the public's help in identifying the suspects. In others, we know who they are, and we are looking for more information about their activities on the dates in question. This first video from November 6 is from the area of 16th Avenue and 12th Street. It shows 3 suspects getting out of a vehicle with a gas can, and later running back to the same vehicle. We are looking for information on the identities of the 3 suspects in the video and any information on their activities from that day. In this next video from November 24th, 3 suspects are seen approaching a home on Meadowview Way in Leduc with a gas can. We are seeking information on the identities of the 3 suspects and any information on their activities from that day. This next video is from a residence in the area of 42 Avenue and 38A Street in Beaumont on December 14. The surveillance video shows 2 suspects approaching a home, breaking into it, and starting a fire. We are looking to identify the person carrying the red jerry can, wearing white shoes and a gray hooded sweatshirt. We know who the other suspect is, and we are looking for any information about his activities on this day. This next video from December 31st shows a suspect driving an SUV arriving at a home in the area of 16th Avenue and 12th Street, then later driving away shortly before smoke begins rising from the building. Also from this same day, prior to the fire, a newer model white 4-door Mercedes with heavily tinted windows was also seen circulating in the area. Police are looking for any information on both vehicles, their owners, and their activities from that day. On January 28th, 2 male suspects are seen entering a Walmart at 1203 Parsons Road, purchasing a gas can and walking out of the store. Police are looking to identify the suspect in the camouflage jacket. The other suspect has been identified. Police are looking for any information about their activities on this day. And then also on January 28, a male suspect carrying a gas can is seen entering and exiting a 7-Eleven at 803 Saddleback Road and later filling the can at the pumps. This suspect has been identified, and police are looking for any information about his activities on this day. In particular, with respect to the subjects from the last 2 videos, we are looking for information on what building they were targeting. We ask the community to come forward with any tips about any of the suspects shown today and report anything they know about these crimes. This investigation is heating up. We are making excellent progress, and we anticipate having more video and updates for you in the coming days and weeks. So we ask everyone to please stay tuned. Thank you, and I can now take any questions you may have.
Hi, Morgan with Global News. Just wondering, you touched on possibly a wider scope. You're talking to RCMP officers in other jurisdictions. I guess how big do you think this might go, like on a global scale, the series of extortions?
I think it's kind of limited to where it is at this point in time. Again, I'll go back to my previous statement. We don't believe that it's connected to anything, that they're seeing in any of the other jurisdictions in Canada.
I just want to pull up because I believe you said there's like a larger individual at play. Just speaking to that part.
Okay, yeah. So our belief is that there is a person that is orchestrating or has been orchestrating these crimes, and that person was doing so outside of Canada.
Any direction as to where outside of Canada, or not sure yet?
Our belief is in India.
I don't know if you already did the math here, but how many, I know it's tough to tell if some of these are the same people or not, but how many distinct suspects are identified in the arrest now?
Yeah, I'd have to. I can probably find that information out for you, but I don't have that offhand. Yeah, we do have a large number of suspects, though. I can say that much.
And you said 6 young, I think, males have been charged.
That's correct.
By young males, you mean they are adults, they're not youth.
I believe one is a youth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a reminder to use the mic if you don't mind, just for people watching, just back there.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Are you working with any police services in India?
We have not touched base directly with them at this point. However, we have had contact through our federal counterparts. So through the RCMP.
Can you speak to how the people are being recruited here? Can you say anything more about that, how they're reaching out to these young men, what they're doing to incentivize them to participate in this?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have the exact information to suggest, directly what would lead them to commit these crimes. It may be a financial reason. It may be, something where they're, beholden to them, or they want to, act in a similar fashion, which maybe some of the larger people within this group, the way in which they conduct themselves. So, but we don't have that information directly.
Can you say, are any of the individuals that you've shown in the video, are you aware if any of them are still youths?
We are not. I can't speak to that.
Other than one minor, the rest of the people you are charged with the crime, why we are not identifying them if they are not under 18?
Sorry, I missed the last portion of your question there.
So,
We did in the January news release. I'll make sure I send that to you.
okay, thank you. Thank you.
Darcy Robchan, City News. I know earlier you folks spoke about it was tough to get some answers from folks in the community. It was tough getting people to come forward. Can you speak to that a little bit? Some of these town halls, have you seen any success in that area?
Yeah, we did have a town hall, and it was very well attended. And from all the feedback we've got, it was very well received, and we've had excellent responses that have come through that medium.
Now that we know the death of Mr. Gill was not connected, it does seem community members have said that there seems to have been a break in extortion activity. So is that is this the most recent, or have we seen even this month activity?
Yeah, I would attribute it more to some of the activity that police have undertaken and some of the engagement from the community. I wouldn't link those two incidences together, or this series and that incident at all.
Right, I understand that, but I'm just wondering, I guess, when was the most recent extortion activity that you've been investigating, if the death of Mr. Gill was not related?
I'd have to give you the exact date, but I believe it was sometime around the time of that last video on the 28th, I believe.
Okay.
Of January, sorry.
And do you mind just speaking to the challenges of covering cross-jurisdictional and possibly abroad crimes, working with all of those other players?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely challenging, but at the same time, some of those relationships are already built with our counterparts, and we have those discussions all the time, and so it's actually, not as difficult as one might think, and it's typically quite easy for us to simply pick up a phone and have a conversation with one of our counterparts if we need a particular piece of information actioned or what have you. So, it's nothing that's overwhelming.
So in the town hall, you had mentioned that there's some people are under surveillance, and you are engaging their parents to see if they can help you to, to stop the activities? Are the parents cooperating with the law?
Yeah, from my understanding, in the few conversations that I am aware of, those conversations went quite well with the parents. I can't really say more than that, but from my understanding, it was very positive interactions.
So just another numbers question. I think you said it was 10 million was the amount of property damage so far. Do you know at this point if anyone, like if any of the extortions have been successful? Has anyone paid money to this criminal organization to escape these types of arsons?
You know what, I probably wouldn't speak to that because frankly, I don't have any information to suggest definitively that that's the case.
Is it surprising that it isn't linked to some of these other series of arson/extortions in other jurisdictions?
You know, it might just be. I think these type of things are quite common in India, and I think maybe it's a tactic that they're exploiting. And the fact that they all kind of came at relatively the same time, I think, was definitely interesting, and it was a concern to us in the initial parts of this investigation. But as it started to unfold, really the suggestion that it's linked to something bigger seemed to really fade away. So again, I think the way that I would look at it, was more sort of a belief on our part that it was a tactic that is being employed by this group, and maybe it maybe be a way in which this group is trying to veil themselves, if that makes sense. That they're using this kind of broader problem as something to kind of hide behind.
And sorry if I missed this, but to what are you attributing this sort of lull in the fire action, if I can say that? Things haven't progressed since January, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And I think the way that I believe, what I would attribute that to is, and I said this in the community hall, the town hall meeting, is I believe some of our police offensive tactics that we used against some of these individuals, I think, were very successful. And I think you can't leave out the fact that the community engagement that we had made a huge difference as well. We suspect some of that pressure came from the community itself in order to kind of put some of these people at bay.
Any further questions? I guess just one more.
Yep.
How many tips have you received to date? Like, have you had a lot of community engagement?
You know what, we've had a lot of community engagement. There's definitely information coming in. The exact number of the tips, I'm sorry, I'm not able to tell you what that would be.
Have any led to arrests, though? Like, people identifying on...
I would say we're getting good information that has, provided some really salient information for the investigation as a whole. I'd leave it at that.
I think this might be the first time that we've heard this referred to as Project Gaslight. Can you give me a bit of an idea of what the team's like that's investigating, how many detectives, officers, and a little background?
You know what? It's at the town hall. We did have those numbers and all that information. I can give you kind of a real rough estimate. But we do have a significant amount of police resources committed to this investigation. We can get you the breakdown if you need those exact numbers. But yeah, again, we do have a significant number of people committed to this investigation.
All these individuals are not being identified yet. Are they from local here, or do you have any information if they're outsider or they're locally here?
Yeah, it's our belief that these are all local Edmontonians.
Any further questions? Okay, thanks, Dan.